Hi everyone. In this video I will continue talking about relationships, breakups, how to move on, and how to truly let go after a breakup. Before we get started here, guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Wesley Milford and this is my channel, Awareness Creates Change. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified on all my upcoming videos. And first of all, I want to start out by saying, if you truly believe that you're going to be okay and that you're going to find something better after this breakup and life is going to work out better than you ever imagined it could after this breakup, if you truly believe that, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. I believe, and make sure you hit that thumbs up as well, because I know this for a fact that it will work out better than you ever imagined. In my experience, it always does, and everything happens for a reason. Everything happens, especially in this case, like a relationship ended, it happened for a good reason. Even if you're the one that got dumped, it's a good reason, because in the relationship, many of them fail is because one or two people in that relationship didn't think it was worth going on. They thought it was the only option, especially if it was the one that did the dumping. They've come to the conclusion in their mind this is the only option. And what they've done is they've placed a bet against you or the one that's been dumped, that they placed a bet against them that they're no longer gonna make them happy or fulfill their needs in life. So there's been, if you're the one being dumped, guys, you've had a bet placed against you in this situation, which is hard to hear. However, it's very true. And but the first thing that we can ask ourselves, like I said, is what awareness can we learn from this, and how can I use that? And that's the first question I ask myself all the time, is how can I learn from this? And it might be hard to see at first. However, the biggest thing we need to do is be patient and give it time and allow ourselves to grieve the loss of that relationship, because it's very similar to grieving the loss of a loved one who's passed away. Very similar emotion. We need to give ourselves time to grieve that loss and not try and mask it or cover it up. Really feel those emotions, let them out, cry, vent to people if you have to. Those things are natural, and those really serve us as humans to really let that out, let that energy out of us. And speaking of that too, journaling. Journaling on all our thoughts, on all your thoughts, writing down anything you want to say to your ex, any of that kind of stuff really helps to get that out of our minds, offload it onto paper. And what that does is, our minds are like a computer. So when we write this stuff down, we actually offload our minds, empty that garbage out, and it makes room for more positive stuff and for newer experiences, for newer thoughts, and for thoughts that are going to serve us and help pull us into that good life that I know we all deserve and I know you all desire. And also too, guys, gym time, like I say in all my videos, exercise, strong body, strong mind. And this has really helped me, especially if I'm having a bad day or relationship has ended or whatever it may be. Let that out at the gym or running or whatever. Just let it all out, because it really helps when I can do physical activity like that and let that energy out in one way or another. It really helps me a lot. And also meditation, therapy, speaking to someone you trust and can confide in, those are all things and tools that we can use to truly let go and get other perspectives on, hey, how are we being? Because just ask yourself this: if you had a friend or a loved one going through the same thing you're going through now, a breakup, what advice would you give them? And that is something that really stuck with me. I would give them the same advice that we need to be giving ourselves if we're the one going through a breakup or we're the one that's been dumped. Give ourselves that internal talk or that outer talk, if you want to speak out loud, that helps too. That the same advice you'd give to a friend or loved one that was going through the same thing you're going through. And I would forget about the hope, because when we hold on to hope of reconciling, it's really holding us back and it's not serving us. So what we need to do after a breakup, especially if we're the ones being dumped, even if you're the one that did the dumping, we need to work on ourselves and be comfortable. This may be hard for some, being alone, because when I have this thought in my mind, like, oh, I just hope so much we get back together. If she comes back or he comes back, I'm going to be so happy. I'm just going to be the happiest in the world. What we're doing is we're putting our happiness outside of ourselves. We're putting our happiness in someone else's hands. And ultimately, we're putting our power in someone else's hands. So what I've realized is that happiness is within us. It's within you. We don't need to look outside of ourselves for happiness. The reason I was with my exes is because I chose to be with them. I didn't look outside of myself at them for happiness. I chose to be with them, and when I make myself happy and I create that happiness from within, it's not my job for me to make anyone else happy. It's their job. It's my job to be happy. And then in a relationship, we can come together as happy by ourselves and then come together and be happy together. However, we don't need to make each other happy. So, and if one person, like I said, decided to call it quits and they feel like there's no other option, give them their space and don't, like I said, let go of that hope, because that's where maybe a lot of us will get hung up, is hoping for reconciliation and just thinking about, I'll just be so happy if, but yeah, let that go. I know it'll be hard to do, but let that go and really start working on ourselves. And in my experience, once I start working on myself and seeing improvements in other areas of my life, then I start to not be as affected, or not necessarily forget, because especially a long-term relationship, and if you have kids together, you're never going to truly forget. However, you can move on and just have those memories there. They're fond, they're nice, yes. However, still move on. And like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, understand that it's going to get better. It's going to work out better than you ever imagined. And in my experience, it always has. And that's just the way life goes. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you got any value from this, hit that thumbs up. And if you guys are going through a tough time with a breakup or separation at this time, and it's very fresh, and you're having trouble dealing with your emotions or dealing with the loneliness or whatever it may be, feel free to reach out to me, guys. DM me, stick a comment in the comment section, say, hey, need help or whatever it may be, and I'd be happy to help with any advice I can give, or just help if you need somebody to talk to. I'd be happy to be there for you to support you in this, because in my experience, especially if you're the one being dumped and it's a surprise to you, then it can be very, very lonely, especially at the beginning. It could be so lonely and so hopeless that it's hard to see a future at all, especially after a long term. So if you guys are going through that, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm here for you. Okay, guys? See you in the next one.